All right, so the only thing more contagious than COVID-19 is trucker convoys, all right? We are all familiar with the Canadian one. One has started in New Zealand, and one will soon start in America, led by a brave man by the name of Brian Brace. That does not sound like a real name. Who recently went on Tucker Carlson and suggested that the unvaccinated should be a protected class. Yeah, so based on what we've seen in Canada, based on what we've seen in New Zealand, and what's soon to come here, I guess my question for you guys is, do we need to be afraid of the trucker convoy? Is it a sleeping dragon, or are they just blowing smoke? What are your thoughts?
These are the dumbest people. We do not need to be afraid. This is, yes, they have big trucks, but we have, 99% of the population. I'm not concerned about this at all.
I feel like afraid is like a strong word, right? But I don't know. Maybe inflation will increase. Maybe which, it's not great for other people. But no, I don't. Afraid is a strong word.
I think there's something interesting in this that we're in the middle of what I'm anticipating is just more companies. I don't know if you guys would agree with me or not. Maybe I'm just going way too deep on this. But I feel like we're already in the middle of a supply chain crisis. The Congress or the Senate just okayed lowering the trucker age to 18 because there aren't already enough truckers. And the idea that a slew of long haul truckers are now going to be taking an extended time off to fucking honk their truck horns outside of the White House or something and be like, fuck, come out here and fight us, Biden. I don't know. I feel like it's one of those things that could just be a perfect storm of shit going wrong. Especially seeing what's going on in Ontario.
Well, and I think this is interesting, right? I think this comes back to a larger cultural war that's going on in America. Is there's all these jobs that are shit jobs. They're hard. They require a lot of work. You have to drive across the country. Truck driving would be one of my, 5 least likely to do jobs. Manufacturing. I've worked in a factory. It is hard and sucks. And everybody in the Republican Party, the Democratic Party says, we want to bring back manufacturing and blue collar jobs. I'm like, bitch, I want to work in a Starbucks for $25 an hour. That's a better job for me. And trying to lower the age or lowering protections isn't going to make these jobs better. You either have to make them more accommodating or, I'm pro-immigration. You know who would love to do these jobs? I'm sure people that would like to immigrate here. And that is, to me, the American dream of, I will come to America. I will work a shit job, but my family will get to live and grow up in America. So that would be how I would solve this. But I don't think lowering the trucking age to 18 is a great idea. I guess it's better than expanding the trucking age to 85 because fucking old ass drivers suck balls too. So,
well, I guess how do you guys feel about truckers stopping the American supply chain? We already have a supply chain crisis, and now there's fucking truckers taking over the bridge between some bridge between Canada and the US, and it's fuck, now there's manufacturing delays and all this shit. They're basically hijacking the economy. You know what I mean? It's and I guarantee not that this fucking matters that much, but I guarantee there's going to be a Q1 dip in the jobs reports or American output or whatever. And then the fucking right is going to be see, look at Biden fucking it up. Are you kidding? It's all you fucking anti-vaxxers with your goddamn trucks, clogging up the fucking highways.
You know what? I'm more okay with the Herman Cain Award just having talked about this for 2 minutes. No, I'm so much more pro Herman Cain Award.
Yeah, well, that's what makes it kind of poetic, right? Because it's we have this massive disruption kind of protest, but is it for universal healthcare or a public option? No, it's vaccine freedom.
It's so I have the freedom to cough in your face. That's so fucking stupid.
Yeah, it's wild.
It's literal insanity. But I'm going to be honest. I'm pro-protest, right? So if they want to do this... I
think we all are.
No, but I'm saying, I hope they do this. One of the best things I heard was they're supposed to drive or some people were suggesting they drive all their trucks and block the freeway to the Super Bowl. I'm like, fucking do it, you cowards. That sounds great. What if we normalize the culture of protesting in this country? Maybe then we'd actually get some of our lazy asses that believe in this stuff to go out there and block shit and disrupt things.
Well, here's the thing I hate is that like the right is so fucking bad at protesting. Like they always fuck over. Like they're simultaneously really fucking good at it. Like,
I was gonna say, dude, I think they're actually kind of good at it.
No, like, dude, I felt like, dude, storming the Capitol was badass. Like, I'm sorry, like that was fucking cool, dude.
This is 100%. You are absolutely right. So yes! I go to protests. I organize in climate change activism groups, and realistically, the right's protests look like so much more fucking fun. Yeah. And I don't want to go to boring ass protests where we just march and chant slogans. I want to cheer. I want speeches. I want food. Did you see the food they were cooking in Canada? It looked delicious.
Like, they're just hanging out with your buds, like shutting down the supply chain, dude. Like, it was the fucking dream.
Yeah.
But
I was going to say, like, do you remember in the before times? I don't know if you ever saw the front page of Reddit. They'd like someone would upload a video of like a protest happening downtown somewhere, and it would just be like, look at these jerks blocking the road, and it's just like one intersection, and then all the top comments are like, they're such jerks, those people have to get to work, and it's like, that's the point. Like, and it was just like one intersection, and it wasn't about like vaccine freedom, it was like something like raising wages or
like
something helpful.
Don't let the police kill people.
Yeah, it's just like, it's fucking insane to me too. Like the truckers are literally like, they could be fighting for higher wages or better benefits and that could have like a huge positive impact, like across like, you know, multiple fields and stuff like that. And instead they're just like, my piece of shit ass is paid enough. All right, like I'm glad I'm an underpaid piece of shit. I just want to be able to cough in my waitress's face when I harass her because my hash browns weren't cooked right. Like, it's fucking ridiculous.
Oh my god.
And, well, the point I was going to make too is like the right is like they fuck up protesting for the left, right? Because like they always go way over the top, like storming the fucking Capitol. I mean, granted, yeah, still fucking badass. Storming the fucking Capitol, but like shutting down the supply chain for dumb shit. And then like nothing good happens afterwards. Like there's no net positive. There's only more negatives. It's like, all right, cool. So like, let's say they do get like, oh, all right, like we are going to lift vaccine mandates. Like, cool. So we have more COVID and then we have less rights. Like, what the fuck?
Right. And then some like probably liberals are going to wag your finger and be like, don't protest like that. That's the right way to protest. Way to protest.
We wove pussy hats and like got a permit. Okay. Like, all right. Well, anyway. Maybe I'm going to read you guys some more about these truckers, and we're going to see, you know, whether or not we should be afraid of them. All right. So, granted, maybe we're already leaning a certain way. So, just a fun fact about Brace. I scoured his Twitter feed before recording today, and his first few tweets are from 2020 and are just trying to sell beard products and sunglasses. So I leading me to believe this dude is just like an astroturfed grifter. Like I do think that this convoy is going to be like heavily funded by like the fucking Koch brothers or something. And I think this also just goes to show like just the sheer fact that this guy was trying to sell shit. Like this guy innately understands that like being a right-wing grifter is like so fucking lucrative. It's like, honestly, it's like winning the MacArthur Genius Grant for morons. Like it's so fucking like I wish anyway. All right. So, fucktoid. What's his name? All right. So Brian Brace went on Fox News and told reporters that this is in no way is this a right-wing issue or a left-wing issue. This is not anti-vax. This is about your rights as a human being. And then, of course, as an American, your constitutional rights. Fox Business' Kelly O'Grady reported Monday that the plan is expected to be peaceful and that the truckers are going to start in California and converge in Washington, D.C. in March. She added that the truckers plan to stay there until the federal and state mandates are removed. So, quick question. Do we think they make it to D.C. from California?
I think this is really the interesting thing is every day there's protests in D.C. Do some of them make it there? Probably. But it's what does the media decide to cover and tell us is happening?
Well, I'm not talking about like a bunch of people getting on a plane. Like they're not like checking their trucks in the overhead bin. I mean, like we can like track them like a UPS package as they make their way from California to Washington.
Yeah, why wouldn't they make it? What I really imagine is like it's like the fucking Forrest Gump of truck envoys, where like at the end, you know, they just have this fucking massive thing and they go, I don't know, man. But honestly, like to the point you're making earlier, like I hope that they cause so much fucking annoyance for everyone that the left sees that they're like, all right, what I hope they fucking fail, first of all, obviously, because they're morons, but I hope that they piss everyone the fuck off so that they realize that they're like, okay, people pay attention to this shit, and then next time something happens, you know, the next time there's a fucking BLM protest, we're not just going out there, you know, wearing our fucking coats and masks and just like a picket sign or whatever. Like we're throwing more, I don't know, I was gonna say throwing more bricks and shit. Yeah, horse manure. I don't know, just doing something that fucking matters, or, you know, like more civil disobedience in a way that like forces change and inspires. And like it's weird because like the fucking outrage machine that is like conservative media is so fucking effective for like the dumbest shit. Like how do we harness like a quarter of that energy for things that actually matter? And I think the problem is like, you know, to use a horribly loaded term, like the more like silent majority of like, I don't know, maybe it's not even the majority, but like the comfortable people who like I assume most of the people on this call, like we're just like, it doesn't really fucking matter to me if climate change happens in the next 10 years. It's like, I'm still probably going to have my decent wage, my fucking apartment, like whatever. Like it needs to feel like as much of an existential crisis, like for climate change, as fucking COVID, you know, freedom, whatever the fuck that's supposed to, I mean, really means, feels for those truckers. Like we need to have that same sense of urgency for anything to fucking happen. And I don't know how they do it short of just lying. Like, I mean, maybe we should do like misinformation for climate change. Like, I don't fucking know, something to like scare the shit out of people, you know?
Climate change is melting guns. And then people
Man, bear, pig is real.
Yeah.
It's man, bear, pig season, you know, something like that. Grab your guns, time to shoot man, bear, pig.
All right, so this convoy has an unexpected hero, all right, who goes by the name of Mark Zuckerberg. Last week, yeah, you know you're in bad shape when Zuckerberg is on the right side of history. So last week, the U.S. group's Facebook page was removed in a move that Jeremy Johnson, who set up the group, called censorship at its finest. He said his personal account was also removed, prompting him to contact a civil rights attorney to discuss next steps. The group, titled Convoy to DC 2022, was a place for truckers to plan and coordinate their multi-state trek. A spokesperson for Facebook's parent company Meta provided this statement to Fox News. Yeah, we removed the group for repeatedly violating our QAnon policies.
What are the QAnon policies?
As much as possible.
Yeah. More like not enough QAnon in this group. Sorry.
we were pretty sure they were posting about it, but we saw nothing.
Yeah.
They're like, they took us down because they hate our freedom. Like, no, like every person here was subscribed to a QAnon account and they had to go. Like, that's why we fucking... So, in October 2020, Facebook labeled QAnon. Yeah, okay, we already know what they labeled QAnon. But then they interviewed the guy and he went, this guy's just coping so hard. I have to laugh about that. I mean, can they contact me or something? Like, can we talk? I mean, really, can we talk? Like, that's not true. Like, who do I talk to? And then he added that Facebook literally wiped the organizers completely off the web. And then to kind of like further that as well, like GoFundMe has refused to be releasing funds to the Canadian convoy. So like, I guess like kind of a part of the other question though, like knowing that like, do they know how to use apps outside of Facebook? Like, do you think that they could download and like function WhatsApp? And then not being able to use GoFundMe as well. I mean, like a little bit different, but like, do we think they make it to DC, or like, do you think they peter out around like fucking, I don't know, Tennessee or Missouri or something?
If there's one thing truckers are good at, it's driving across the country. I stand by. I think they can make it to DC.
I imagine they have enough funding to do that. And enough,
what does it cost to drive to DC?
In a big truck? Fucking Craig, it's not a Toyota Corolla, man.
Ian, do you not think they can make it? Like, what do you think is going to happen to them?
I don't, you know what? I don't know. Like, I'm assuming like maybe the cops are going to do that awesome action movie thing in like the desert. They're going to like throw down like the spiked, wires or whatever. And
The cops are going to be gilding them on the way. They'll be refilling
an escort, a police escort
Freedom
the whole way
escort.
there. Yeah,
It'll be more like Air Force One in that movie where they're like refilling the plane midair. The Freedom Convoy will be driving there, and the cops will be next to it, filling. We got to get them there. They can't stop.
You know what? Fuck me, dude. You're right. You're absolutely right. Well, I feel like I don't know if you guys feel this way as well, but I just kind of feel like like the words like freedom and patriot have like just become this fucking like shibboleth for like QAnon and like anti-vax, like. So like really maybe like to bring it back to the Herman Cain thing, like maybe when we're lamenting these deaths, like we're also lamenting like one less like QAnon conspiracy theorist, like January 6th rioter, like Stop the Steal. Like it's just it's all interconnected, right? Like they're one and the same. They're all the same person. Like that's the same guy the entire way around.
I think you did it. I think you solved it.
All right, cool. Next story.
Job over. All right.